Have you ever wondered what would happen if our sun suddenly exploded? Let's take a brief cosmic journey, shall we? Picture the universe full of stars, each with its own unique life cycle. Some of these celestial bodies meet their end in a spectacular display known as a supernova, an explosion so powerful it can outshine an entire galaxy. Our sun, however, is a rather modest star, falling into the small to medium-sized category. So, an explosion akin to a supernova is simply not in its future. Instead, it's set to embark on a more gradual journey, first morphing into a red giant swelling up to consume the inner planets. Then, after shedding its outer layers, it will shrink down to a white dwarf, a dense and hot stellar remnant. These transformations, as fascinating as they are, will occur over billions of years. But what if, contrary to our current understanding, the sun did explode? Stay tuned to find out. First, let's tackle the immediate implications of such an event. The sun's abrupt explosion wouldn't be instantly noticeable here on Earth. In fact, we'd have about 8 minutes of blissful ignorance. Why, you ask? That's the time it takes for sunlight or any form of solar radiation to travel the 93 million miles from the sun to our planet. Once those 8 minutes are up, the world would be plunged into sudden darkness. Imagine, one moment you're basking in the warmth of the sun, the next you're in the pitch black. But it's not just the light that would disappear, the heat would vanish too, leading to a rapid and drastic drop in temperature. So in the initial moments after our sun's hypothetical explosion, we'd lose both our primary source of light and heat. Essentially, Earth would be plunged into darkness and cold, but that's not all. Let's now consider the long-term effects of a sun explosion. Without the sun acting as the gravitational anchor of our solar system, the planets would be left without a path to follow. Like a rogue comet, they'd be sent hurtling into the vast darkness of space. The sun's disappearance would also mean the loss of its life-giving energy. Our planet would be left in a state of perpetual night, causing temperatures to plummet drastically. The Earth's atmosphere, without the warmth of the sun to sustain it, would gradually thin out and vanish. This chilling scenario would usher in the slow, inevitable death of all life as we know it. The freezing temperatures would make survival impossible for most life forms. Trees, plants, animals, and humans would all succumb to the harsh, frigid conditions. Yet the sun's explosion could also have a more immediate, destructive impact. Imagine enormous pieces of the sun, each one a cataclysm in its own right, hurtling through space. Some of these fragments could reach Earth, causing untold destruction upon impact. The Earth, once a vibrant blue sphere teeming with life, would be transformed into a frozen, barren wasteland. Our home planet would become a ghostly echo of its former self, drifting aimlessly through the cosmos. Clearly, the effects of a sun explosion would be cataclysmic. However, it's important to remember that this scenario is extremely unlikely. Our current understanding of celestial bodies, combined with the best of astrophysics, suggests that our sun will not explode. You see, our sun, a yellow dwarf star, isn't massive enough to end its life in a supernova explosion. Instead, it will undergo a much more gradual and less dramatic transformation. In around 5 billion years, our sun is projected to exhaust its hydrogen fuel. When this happens, it will start burning helium, causing it to expand and transform into what we call a red giant. In this phase, the sun will grow so large that it will engulf the inner planets, including our dear Earth. But don't pack your spacesuit just yet. This process will take billions of years, a timescale that dwarfs the existence of humanity. Following this, the sun will shed its outer layers, leaving behind a hot core known as a white dwarf. This will mark the end of its life as a main sequence star. This process, while it will ultimately render Earth uninhabitable, is not an explosion. It's a slow, steady transformation that will occur over a timescale far beyond our comprehension. So, while a sun explosion makes for an interesting thought experiment, it's not something we need to worry about.